Hey y'all, this is Kirk with Wellspring Landscape Services, and I was at a client's house today looking at something, and I ran across these trees in the front yard and thought this would be a great video to talk to people who have planted trees recently or in the last year or two, or maybe longer. But these trees got a couple things going on. One, you see the stakes right here. Hey, we're like see here, move my finger around, and in the background too. So these stakes have been staked in, or I'm sorry, these trees have been staked in, which is nice to do when they're first planted, but you should only leave the stakes in for about 6 months to a year, kind of depending on the stakes and where they're at and how it was planted, what kind of tree it is. But these stakes need to be removed for a couple of reasons. One, if I go up closer, I'll see that the wires are kind of digging into the trunk, and the trunk's starting to grow around the wires now, which restricts the trunk and also going to make it very difficult to safely remove these wires in the future. And plus also, it's more healthy for the tree to blow back and forth in the wind. It helps build strength in the trunk. So you want it to be moving around a little bit. Obviously you don't want it to fall over, but you want it to be stable, but you want to get these stakes out and not leave them in for a long time. So those stakes need to come out and the wires removed from the trunk. The second thing is the canopies on these trees are only about 4 feet from the ground. And as these trees grow, that's going to be way too close to the ground, the limbs, and it's going to shade this Bermuda, and the Bermuda hates shade. And so what's going to happen if the limbs aren't cut off, the lower limbs and this canopy lifted up, then it's going to have to happen at some point. So it's better to do it early in the tree's life, have the energy coming up from the roots into the upper part of the canopy instead of these big lower limbs. They're just going to have to be cut off anyway. So remove the stakes, lift the canopy so you get a lot of air circulation under the tree and a lot of sunlight coming down to this to the sod, and it just creates a much better environment, a healthier environment, especially in the long term. I'm in a neighborhood, and the whole neighborhood's like this. There's a couple where the stakes have been removed and the canopies have been trimmed up, and they look real nice. And then 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 50 years from now, it's gonna be a much better tree and a better yard because of the work that was put in at the beginning, okay? So that's an update on trees and stakes and lower canopies. If you have any questions, call the office. If not, we'll see you next time. Bye.